Welcome to the Geek Homeworld podcast. I'm your host, Ed, aka the Savage Tech Man. We talk film, TV, and tech, all from a geek perspective. You can find us on X, Instagram, Facebook, and you can subscribe and follow on YouTube at Geek Homeworld. Don't forget to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Be a part of the Geek Homeworld. Hello, everyone, and welcome to a new episode here of the podcast. This is Geek Homeworld episode 172. Live stream, and this is Motendo, Remember It. And kind of put some titles together there. We're going to be talking about some X-Men stuff. Give me just a second as we're getting everything set up here in the live stream. And for all of you that are about to start watching here, just got to work on some of my banners here. So this is This is called Motendo Remember It. MEMBER. Motendo Remember It. All right, save that. And let's get that title up there. Boom. Welcome to Geek Homeworld episode 172, live stream, Motendo, Remember It. And I had a bunch of people. It's been an interesting week, a heck of an interesting week. Got my favorite drink here. Yummy, yummy. And we're supposed to have a last minute cancellation. We've been talking about it all week. In fact, I wanted to do a live stream earlier this week, but because episode 5, Remember It, on X-Men 97 was so phenomenal that I just wanted to rush and jump on the mic. In hindsight, maybe that's what I should have done. Digital Caveman's taken ill, so he's not going to make this episode, and it really pains him because he was looking forward to it. We had a lot planned to talk about, and he is under the weather, so he's not going to make it tonight. And so it's just going to be me winging it here by myself. He's in the chat there. Greetings. He will. Okay, in the chat there. Awesome. Digital Caveman is just joining us. He said, I will try to chime in. So a lot of things happened this week. It's a monumentous week for me. Let's see. Today is Saturday, April the 13th, 2024, when we're recording this, when we're doing the live stream and the podcast. And last Sunday, a week from tomorrow, we actually had a get-together. Actually, before that, last Sunday was my birthday. I turned 54. Woohoo! Gosh, young and old at the same time. I got a lot of cool gifts, and one of them, and I'm going to show you real quick on camera here. If you're watching the live stream, you'll see it. I'm wearing my new podcast shirt, that Geek Homeworld. And we're Geek Homeworld. I can't read that here. 42, YouTube.com at Geek Homeworld 4248. That's where you can reach us, or just Geek Homeworld. If you go and search on YouTube, you'll see that. Anyway, so that was a gift from Digital Caveman, and thank you for that. And anyway, I had a big birthday. My wife surprised me, and she invited family and friends, and we thought we were going to see the new Liam Neeson movie. And it was a surprise to the moment I was walking to the theater. I was totally surprised. And it was full of family and friends. Some of my family couldn't make it. But that's, stuff happens. Things come up. Life happens. Just like we say on the podcast. Why didn't you podcast? Well, life happens, And so, but a lot of people showed up and packed a small theater, which blew me away. I'll never be able to replicate that. Like next year for my 55th, I don't know how I'm going to top it, but I do like celebrating birthdays, and I'm celebrating alone tonight. I guess that's how it is sometimes when you're a creator. Things happen. But I got a lot of cool gifts for my birthday, so couldn't be more excited about that. And some of the gifts I got, some are very handy. These are also from Digital Caveman. I got Cyclops, who's my favorite X-Men, always been. He's finally getting justice done well. And he got me the Rogue as well, which is pretty cool. And I'm gonna do, in the spirit, since Digital Caveman's not here physically. Well, not that he's here physically, but you know what I mean, virtually, not on camera. I'm gonna steal some of his thunder and do my own unboxing. So that's gonna be part of our stream tonight. Oops, as I blow out my sound there. So anyway, I got Cyclops and Rogue here with us. I got my printout of X-Men 97. We're going to talk about the episodes. I got a lot to cover. Got to do it myself here, so got to figure all that out. So, that's just how it is. But fantastic birthday celebration last week. It was, I don't know what day that was. Friday, Saturday. I think it was Saturday. I don't remember. It's a week ago. Yeah, who can remember? I'm old now. I can't remember anything. So anyway, we had a fantastic 54th birthday celebration. We went and had ice cream after that, and ice cream is always an important part of a birthday. So thank you to everybody who took the time to travel. Some people traveled 2 and 3 hours to be here. There were people that I didn't think could ever make the trip that did, and I'm extremely thankful for that. I was going to do a birthday stream, which I kind of wish I would have done that, but I didn't have a chance. It's just, I've had a lot of homework I've been working on. I've been bogged down in homework this week. It was also spring break from college, so I spent a good part of that trying to relax, or as some people say, decompress, and getting other things accomplished. And I was also trying to do some stuff. I may give y'all a treat. I did, I hadn't thought about this, but this is impromptu. For people that show up, you're going to see this on YouTube, and this will be I'm going to have let's do a world premiere of the Alpha Protocol. How about that? If I can figure it out on here using StreamYard and through YouTube, I'm going to go ahead and just put that on there. And I don't know. Does that sound good? Let's do it. It's one of the projects I have to do for school. And Digital Caveman said it was Saturday, so it was a week ago today. He said I'm an old fart. Yes, I definitely am. You'll be this old one day. When you look this good. What did Yoda say? When 800 years you are old, will you not look this good or something? You get it. But anyway, so this is going to be a random crazy episode. 172, and I want you to do something, and this is what you can do. Tell all your friends, and it's a subscriber call. You know how in churches they like to do an altar call? Well, I'm doing a subscriber call. I'm trying to get to 100 subs so I can have more than 51 because that's the next goal. So I need everybody to call people and spam the hell out of them. No. They can't cancel me. It's not nobody's watching this. But I want you to subscribe to Geek Homeworld at youtube.com/@geekhomeworld4248. That's Geek Homeworld, youtube.com/@geekhomeworld4248. Everybody should go and sub my channel, and we have really good content like this. And I actually had a couple other people that I had invites out, and one person is one of my classmates, and me and him had some awesome conversations recently about X-Men and just sci-fi. But he thankfully got a job, and so he's bartending, so he's not gonna be able to make it. But I was hoping he could have made it for the stream. It would have been awesome. I've invited another one of my friends. I call them I have film friends. That's just how to differentiate my friends, and we had talked about him coming on like a week or so ago, but stuff came up and I hadn't heard back from him recently, so I was hoping he would jump in here for the live stream, but that didn't happen. Also, another cool thing, I'm just trying to get everything in here that happens because it's been a busy, crazy, awesome week. I just happened to turn on X or Twitter or whatever you want to call it, the trash heap that it is, and the big cesspool that's Twitter or X. Sorry, it's still Twitter. And I saw X-Men, the animated series, their official account talk, and people just have been losing their mind over episode 5 of X-Men 97, me included, definitely. Possibly the best story and animation I've seen in a animated series in the entire history of animated series, bar none. What they did in X-Men 97 episode 5, if Marvel can replicate that and take that formula, they will be back in the $1 billion plus business, and and hopefully won't screw up X-Men if they follow that pattern. And I'm going to say an unpopular opinion, because I've seen it, the hashtag's been going for Bo DeMayo, I think is his name, the head writer that got kicked to the curb for whatever reasons, his OnlyFans pay or whatever it's called. I don't know. I don't follow any of that stuff. So I don't know what situation, whether he's hard to work with, whatever. Regardless of that, I don't know any specifics, and I don't honestly care, because he wrote this episode by himself. And believe me, I've been in the film industry and I've seen low-budget films. I had to make a few no-budget films myself, one for my class that I'm going to show you guys later, which is a crazy treat if you're showing up for the live stream. And a lot of it's trash, but I don't knock people, because it's, the best that they can do. And I'm forcibly having to do some of that own stuff for one of my video classes that I'm taking. So, everybody's got their own learning curve and stuff that they do, their own creative space for stuff. But what he did with that episode, writing that episode, he was, and I don't know if any of this is true, but I've seen it on X, so it must be true, right? If it's on the internet. But the club shooting they have in Orlando years ago, he supposedly, being in the gay community, he was at that club, or he was referencing that club. It's one or the other. And so he took, that, and then I guess being a gay man, he, feels discrimination and this and that, and trying to find your place in this world. And so he took that experience, plus he took the episode, which Digital K-Man brilliantly pointed out, that it was split into two it really was two episodes. The theme of episode 5 of X-Men 97, remember it? The first part was when they're getting to Genosha, and it's very kind of, as he would describe, because he said this on Twitter, or X, Bo DeMayo said, it's pre 9/11 and then post 9/11, because of the utter destruction and chaos. And if not to make things worse right now, real life, in live time at 9:51 p.m., April 13th, 2024, we got notification that Iran, in response to something that Israel supposedly did, and killed a couple of their generals in Syria with some missile strike, they're launching cruise missiles, a bunch of them, plus hundreds of drones, which takes a couple hours or so to get to Israel. So it's about 6 o'clock our time. So it's about almost 10 o'clock here. So they're at least an hour into dealing with that, and the U.S. is helping shoot them down, and thankfully they've shot most of the missiles down. So it's just a weird kind of week. So trending on X, I went on X to see if there's any more news about X-Men 97, and trending is at the top is World War III, and then second to that's Jerusalem, and then I turn on CNN, and there's Jerusalem, and there's all the explosions everywhere. Anyway, so you put all that together. It seems really relevant, this episode. Episode 5 of X-Men 97. And if you know anything about the oppressed and people that are marginalized, X-Men is the perfect vehicle for that. It's always been that. That's been an underlying thing. I agree with a comment that Digital K-Man put in the chat there. He said dumpster fire is referring to X. It really is. It's where you go and hate on everybody else, and you have an opinion anonymously, and no one's held accountable for whatever, hatred. And he says, behold, the broken seals. Oh, well, okay, K-Man, I can go deep on this if we need to. But I've been hearing apocalypse quotes in my, from X-Men, the animated series, in my head all day. And I'm like, it's actually inspired me for a film I've got to do that I got to do for class. And I've really got some different ideas about the direction I want to take. And I think I might go dark with it. Dark and light, because you got to show the light side of the Force and the dark side of the Force. But I can think of I am the rock of the eternal shore, break against me and crumble. I am Apocalypse. Look upon the future and tremble. I can't do the voice. Actually, I can sometimes. But anyway, so if you're a big X-Men fan like I've always been, there's a lot going on. So saying all that, when you put all that together, that's the theme of what Bo DiMaio came up with. And to take all that and to put it into animation and do something with 30 minutes, not a Disney Plus show, but not spread out over 6 episodes. One freaking episode in like 32 to 37 minutes. He created, Bo DiMaio and the rest of the team in X-Men 97 created the best, most riveting animation. And by the way, this is spoilers already. I think that goes without saying, but if you had your head under a rock, you'd still probably hear what happened. And the title's Remember It. And that's something Gambit always says. He's like, the name is Gambit. Remember it. Mon ami. He's like, the name is Gambit. Mon ami. Remember it. And so Remember It's the title of that episode. But we're also going to be talking about Motendo and Livedeath Part 1, which was a 2-parter episode before this. It was so lighthearted. And then you put this episode 5 up against it, and it's total night and day. But even within episode 5, you have the first part where they get to Genosha that's kind of pre 9/11, and then you have 9/11 post 9/11, and everything's going to be post 9/11 from this point in the guise of X-Men 97. So that's what's up on that. So it's just going to be an incredible thing. And with that being said, sorry, I'm just playing with my levels here a little bit. Bear with me here. I'm just cranking these up a little bit more. Let's see if we can do that. Okay. Alrighty. So with that being said, we're going to be talking about a lot of stuff here. And if anybody's watching live, I see 2 people are watching. So, hey, 2 people. And one of them's Digital Caveman. Thank you. I know you're ill, but I know you couldn't be on camera. That's fine. Life happens. But God, I would love to have that conversation. You'll have to do it on a future episode where we talk about this episode, because I feel like episode 5 we're going to be talking about for a long time. Plus, you had CinemaCon this week, where they previewed some very select moments from, help me out, what's it called? Deadpool versus Wolverine, which is going to be $1 billion. There's only one film that I'm guaranteeing is $1 billion, and it's going to be Deadpool versus Wolverine. And that's, other than X-Men 97, they're pulling Marvel out of a big hole. So, I can't say I'm happy with Fantastic Four the way it's going. I'm not blown away by it. I'm going to keep an open mind, which anybody that knows me knows I keep an open mind. I do have my opinions. It looks like, according to the chat here from Digital Caveman, he says, we have a new McAvoy movie that looks creepy as hell. I agree. I saw a preview for that. I want to see that because James McAvoy, Professor X, fantastic actor. What else? He said they showed the first 10 minutes of Deadpool. Yeah. So, and people were, I guess, surprised, relieved in a good way. John Campea said Kevin Feige is taking the stage, and he just dropped the F-bomb a couple times. And I'm like, what? And so, people have always been worried, going back to when Deadpool 3 was a possibility and going into production and all that stuff, pre-pandemic and all that fun stuff, or during the pandemic, whatever, when they were planning for it. And he said that Ryan Reynolds was very concerned. When Disney, bought Fox and all that Deadpool would not be, it would get sanitized and all that. And thankfully, it's looking like that's not going to happen. And Digital Caveman says Marvel done F effed up the FF. Marvel done effed up, EFFED. Marvel done effed up with FF for Fantastic Four. Yeah, they're doing Shaka Khan, Shalabane, Shalaballs, somebody, which is a character from the comics, but they're going to do the female Silver Surfer. I'm reserving my judgment, but right off the bat, my initial reactions are no. I want Oren Rad. I want the original Silver Surfer. And I'm going to say something that's probably unpopular. For like $80 million, they did the first Fantastic Four movie that had Chris Evans as the Human Torch. I loved that cast, and I thought the first Fantastic Four was a good film. I like Silver Surfer. They had Lawrence Fishburne do the voice, which perfect voice for Silver Surfer. And I don't know who the actor was that actually played him, but he had the great physicality. They had the special effects up there, and both movies did well. And I like the fact with all other movies that this had a different feel. This was just felt like a normal group of people, a brother, sister, Reed Richardson and Sue Storm, and them together, and then Ben Grimm as Thing, and then a Human Torch, and that a Human Torch and Visible Woman, they were brother and sister, and then but they were all friends, and then you had Doctor Doom, which is fantastic when they left him in, and the effing smoke monster. Ugh, I agree. That was Galactus as showing up in Silver Surfer, the second Fantastic Four film. We universally agree that was just terrible because the director didn't do robots in space, and probably with the special effects they had back then, it would have looked kind of hokey anyway. But anything better than a smoke cloud would have been better. The lost smoke monster, as we used to say. Digital Gaming said he wasn't keen on the main casting, but was willing to give it a look. Not too sure. Talking about the new Fantastic Four. Pedro Pascal, I like him as Mandalorian, even though that third season was shit. Disney, you crapped a load on that one, but okay. I still like it. I'm still looking forward to the movie. And yes, I'm going to go see it when him and Grogu and all them are together. That's all fine and dandy. I'm good with that. But I don't hate on a lot of movies. Like me and Digital Caveman and I will disagree, and I'll say, X-Men The Last Stand was a good film. It was not a great film. No, it's not at all a good representation of the Phoenix Force. It's not true to the comics. I understand that. But in the time when that was made, and budget constraints at Fox and all that back in the day, they didn't have the big Marvel budgets. And I think Fox still did very good to keep us getting X-Men films all these years. So I'm not going to hate on Fox for that, 20th Century Fox. But for them to do what they did is good, was good what they did. And, but what I was saying, so the X-Men The Last Stand, which was the third X-Men live-action film, after X-Men and the X2, X-Men United, which is arguably the best film. Probably next to that's Days of Future Past, and then probably the first one. But X-Men The Last Stand, I think they represented as like a split kind of personality thing. Jean's bright side and dark side, and the Phoenix being like more of a, with her mutation and all that. I think they did that well. Of course, I don't like the way they punked out Scott and she killed Scott, because Jean would never do that. If you know anything about Jean Grey, her and Scott Summers, they're like joined at the hip. They've always been together. They've psychically linked that way, their psychic rapport, and which they go deep into that and the consequences of that in Madeline Pryor in episode 5, which we'll talk about in X-Men 97. Yeah, the X-Men The Last Stand, I think they did a good enough job of representing what Jean was going through, and she kills Xavier, and that was intense to see. Patrick Stewart, he's so great in everything he does. And even though he's, I'm not speaking ageism here, but he's getting a little bit old for the acting. I mean, I love his acting. I don't want him to go anywhere. I want him to keep making movies and stuff. I'll certainly watch. But he's got to be 70s or 80s. He's getting up there. It's getting a little harder for him to, emote the same way. Like I notice his voice in Doctor Strange is not as strong in parts of Picard. But that's age, and I don't care. As long as he wants to act, I'm there for him. And he Sir Patrick Stewart's a national English treasure wherever he's from here. He's a treasure. He's a worldwide treasure. He's our Professor X, our Captain Picard. He even looked the parts, And but anyway, little off track there. But so mad love for what Fox did and keeping us in the game of X-Men films. And Dark Phoenix, not so good. I can still find good things in bad movies. I'm a Terminator fan, so I've lived through my share of not good Terminators, but I can still watch pretty much any of them at any time, and I can still find things because I'm a true fan. Like with Star Wars, yes, I'm disgruntled a lot, especially at Disney, for a lot of things where they screwed things up and we didn't get the original OG cast all together in at least one scene. I mean, major fumble there, big, and they're paying for it now. But when they make something else, am I going to show up? Yes, I am. I liked Ahsoka. Has its issues. Feels a little wooden in places, but at least they're trying. Acolyte, I just don't know about the Acolyte. I want to like that. I really do. Interesting premise, but I feel like they're going to try to push the whole woke agenda thing too much. And read the room, Marvel, Disney, Star Wars. Read the room. Woke is not selling anymore. People aren't going for it. They might be championing it, but when you create wokeness and that's your film or that's your project, but it breaks down and disengages from what the ultimate story is, you got a problem there, and you just you're screwing up. You need to calm down. You're acting too loud. All the Swifties there will get that. You're doing too much, as this generation says. And you're not doing enough for what you should be doing. Get on track. Kevin Feige, I believe in you, bro. You've done this before, Papa Iger. You can turn this ship around, but you got to let that shit go. You got to let it go, bro. If you want the green in your pocket, you want the mouse to be happy, make that mouse happy by making what the fans want. I want you spend so much time going against fans' expectations and subverting expectations. How about you turn around and just try it for 1 year? Just make films and TV shows and give the fans exactly what they want. And I guarantee you, they will come back in droves and they'll bring people back. Because right now you've lost the average Joe and Jill, or whatever their names are. Oh gosh, Joe and Jill. You've lost the Bidens. No, probably haven't. But you've lost the average person, and that's where you tack on that extra box office, is when you get those people that don't know who the Silver Surfer is. You get them to come and see your movie, not just the hardcore comic fans that are gonna never be happy with what you do. I'm a Star Wars fan for life, so I'm at war with myself a lot of times. We all are. I'm a Star Trek fan. It's the same way. And Star Trek was really good for decades. And then you had to bring Discovery in and poop all over everything. Thank God that's being canceled. But still, that's that. And boy, I'm on a rant here. It must be the money. It's not. It's there's some shameless plug for a local vendor. Support local, buy local. And this is local when I'm drinking. You'll have to subscribe, enable notifications, and hit the thumbs up button for me to tell you what I'm drinking. But anyway, so what are we talking about? We're talking about a lot of things, and I haven't even got to the main part of what we're talking to, because, hey, it's a live stream, and I got to be entertaining, so I'm being entertaining. Are you not entertained? Well, you will be. So, anyway, I really do honestly appreciate everybody who came out to my party. I can't thank my wife enough. She's phenomenal anyway, and this just took her to levels of even more awesomeness. And for everybody that took the time to show up at my party at a place I love, the theater, that's why I hate to think the theater experience might be going bust. So we got to bring it back and make me an entertainment czar, and I will tell studios how to make films the right way. I can be the big idea guy. I can do it. And I love, I was going to share this. I'll probably share it on social media. I was behind somebody and they were in a green car, real nice looking car. And their tag, around their tag, it says, would you like to know how I got these scars? And I said, anyway, that's pretty cool. Joker, boom. I love how my mind works. It's a beautiful mind. No, it's not. So Joker, Folio do or whatever it is. The new Joker, the second Joker film, they debuted the trailer with him and Gaga. It's got like 12 to 15 songs, like reinterpretations of songs. And the first one's the Burt Bacharach one, What the World Needs Now is Love. And it works in a weird kind of way, you know. They don't give a lot of credit to this, but I call those like Smallville filmmaking, because if you ever watch Smallville, the TV series, it was on like 10 seasons on CW and WB or whatever it was. WB, then it was CW. They would do that was like a love drama kind of thing, kind of like X-Men 97 is, if you think about it. X-Men 97 is just a soap opera that's about superheroes and got a lot of explosions and really cool stuff and fantastic dialogue and social conscience as well, without being woke. So far so good in X-Men 97. You've not gone woke yet. We caught you a little more wokeness there, but it's okay. It hasn't overpowered the story. So far so good. I'm the Duggernaut, bitch. Let's read the thing. Oh, Digital Cayman says X3. I don't remember that one. Smiley face. And, but anyway, it's all part of the plan. It's not about the money. It's about sending a message. No. And the message is, we don't want woke. Take your woke, go broke, and go somewhere else. Anyway, so this is fun. I'm trying to be more lively for this stream because I can be so serious when I do these, and so I'm trying to be a little bit more animated, because that's what you have to be on YouTube to grow. You have to be animated. You have to be this. You have to be that. Wanda Sykes says, I'm a be me. So me is a lot of things, and me you can't put in a box. Anyway, so this is fun. Remember, the word remember is REMEMBER. I always have problems spelling that word. I either want to leave an M out or put another M in there. I always feel like when I look at it, it's not long enough. The word is missing letters. I don't know why. But anyway, back on track here. Focus. So anyway, I don't have a problem with bad movies. I don't like them, but I will watch them. So I say all that to say that I still give stuff a chance. Echo, horrible series, forgettable, terrible writing, terrible show. I know somebody worked on it. Out of respect for them, I've really not said much about it. One of the worst things, probably next to She-Hulk, that I've seen. It didn't make sense where everybody gets powers in the end, and it's just kind of like, I don't know. Didn't love it. Hated She-Hulk. She-Hulk could have had potential, but a lot of screw-ups. So I'm not afraid to dislike things. I do have opinions, but I am more forgiving if I can see where you're going with something, or I see what limited scope of things you have. But when you're someone like Disney or Marvel and you've got billions in the bank, you've learned that throwing $400 million at a film is not going to make it a success. Just because one film did $1 billion, Captain Marvel, doesn't mean your second one that nobody wanted is going to do good, and it ended up being the lowest one. I'm not here to pick on Marvel or Disney. In fact, I'm still giving them opportunities, benefits of the doubt, and I still will. no matter how bad it gets. Because I like entertainment. I want to go to the theater. I want to sit in front of my big TV and watch some good Disney Plus stuff and stuff on streaming. Ooh, Fallout. I got to watch that. I think the first episode's out. That trailer looked awesome. At CinemaCon, they showed some of that, the opening scenes of that and the nuclear blast and all that's pretty cool. Pretty awesome. So, I'm a Fallout fan from playing the game. Love the game. And so to see that in live action will be great. Let's talk about real quick. Movie time. We just got to see Civil War, and I wanted that to be good, but I had a fear it wouldn't be. But I shouldn't have doubted A24 because that's one studio that's doing it right. They're doing stuff on low budgets, and I want to tell you the sound design was awesome in Civil War. If you can see it in a theater that has a good surround sound system, whether it's IMAX or not, do it. It's worth it. You don't need to see it on the big screen, but it is compelling. There were 2 times in the film I almost jumped in my seat because the gunfire and it was so realistic sounding, and it just sounded like it was, God forbid, there in the theater. It wasn't, of course, but I mean that's just how realistic it was. They did a great job with the sound design, is what I'm saying, in Civil War. But the story is a very good story. Is bipartisan a good thing where it's neither one or left or the right? That's what this was. The creator, thankfully, didn't take sides. Even with your third term president that you had, he wasn't necessarily taking sides. So you experienced the entire Civil War film through the eyes of a couple reporters, mainly Kirsten Dunst, and then this girl that kind of tacks on to that. She's like a fangirl of hers, and she, a young adult, she wants to be just like her, and so, and they have some side characters that are, like, one of them meets a demise, and it's kind of heartbreaking when you see that part of the film. And it is a representation of not bad how things could be, how things are necessarily, but how things can be when we have a failure to come together as one and communicate with each other. So Civil War gets higher marks for it. I do like some of the posters. I've not seen any in the theater, but some of the posters for it, I think they've done a really good job on those. They don't look cardboard cut out like a lot of the ones you see these days. So on the graphic side, graphic design side of that, thumbs up to you guys. Good job on that. Also, we saw another film that was really good. I've been seeing a lot of good films. It's out to rent and to own, but it came out about a month or so ago. Land of Bad. If you get a chance to check that out, it's a good war film. It's a solid story. Once again, another great story film. And and I don't know if it was A24 necessarily. I'm not sure of the studio on that. Very good. And so what I'm saying is, you have these studios spending 200, 300, 400 million. Look at Godzilla -1. Did that on what, $15 million? Won an Oscar for the effects in it. So rightly deserved and so great. And by the way, I haven't seen Godzilla X Kong yet. I may go and see that when I have some time. I've just been doing a lot of schoolwork and stuff, so I haven't had time to do everything that I want to do. Spring break was fun, my birthday, and the live streams we've done, and I don't think we did one last week, so sorry about that, but we're going to get into that in a minute, talking about Motendo / Livedeath Part 1, and this weekend we're getting Livedeath Part 2 on X-Men 97, so we kind of foreshadow that a little bit, and of course we're going to talk the main reason why we're here. I know we're 48 minutes into it, and we've already talked about episode 5, but there's a lot of things that were going on, and my birthday stream. So we're going to do this. A Fallout 7, we have this, I'll put this up here for, Digital K-Man says, Fallout 76 is free for Xbox and PC on Amazon Prime Games. Well, that's good to know. Speaking about Fallout 76, he says he thinks the whole thing dropped. It may have. I did see a review of episode 1 and all that, but I'm definitely going to check out Fallout. I'm excited. I know the boys are coming out. I'm not sure when. Can't wait for that crazy series to come back. Some of the best superhero stuff I've seen, and definitely most graphic, has been Invincible on Amazon Prime. And I'll tell you what, X-Men 97 went there on some of that stuff. They probably weren't as graphic as Invincible, but I say that, and I've seen people say this, that writing on episode 5, remember it, on X-Men 97, episode 5, was some of the best writing, animation or non-animation, that I've seen. And I'm telling you, if Marvel can, if I had to walk into the office and you say, okay, Ed, you need to turn Marvel around, or even Disney, all their properties, I would go in there, I'd make the board of directors, a creative team, whoever is in charge, I was like, here, let's sit down and watch episode 5 from beginning to end. And you see the notes that they touched on this. I know you can do a lot more in animation, a lot less cheaper these days than you can in live action. But look at that and appropriate that to, to the big screen. Get it to the big screen, but the best way possible. If you can do that, you're doing great, because what they did there should be a template for how you do things going forward in the bringing the X-Men to live action. And it's definitely worth it. It's definitely something that needs to be replicated. That is what, if you ask me as a creative director, I would take that in there. I'd make everybody sit down, shut up, put your woke ideas away and all your other ideas, and say, okay, this is what you did before. It might have worked for a while. It's not working anymore. It's time to fix things. Watch this, episode 5. Remember it, X-Men 97. And from that point, you will know how to get your ideas out there and to make your franchises, in your films, in your Disney Plus or whatever TV series, streaming, whatever. This is how you do it. This is how you replicate success. If you want a template, it's there. And Bo DiMaio, for the good or bad that he may have done in this world, I don't know. I don't know any details. They haven't told us anything. And I certainly know less than probably most people do on it. But you wrote that episode and you did something right. And he was getting, as they say, the thing they say now is, this person got their flowers. Like, it's like when you get flowers when you do something well or whatever. He was getting his flowers on X the other day. And so I'm glad he got that back. And so whatever bad things he might have done, he might have been difficult to work with. He might have done some horrible things. I don't know. Time will tell. But from the writing standpoint, he did a great job, and he set the standard. And you know what? There's people on Twitter X calling for him to be reinstated, and they got a hashtag over it. They also want him involved in the live action X-Men films, because you don't want a cartoon, an animated series episode to come out, and then your live action X-Men that we've been waiting for, we'll wait almost a decade to get by the time, we get from 5 years ago when they bought Fox till we actually see them, it may be 8 to 10 years before they actually make it to the screen and we're in the theater watching that. But you don't want an animated series episode to outshine everything you've put millions and billions of dollars developing. You know what I'm saying? So do it right. And the Reed Richards thing, Fantastic Four. I'm going to watch it. I'm probably going to like it. Even if people hate on it, I'm probably going to find some things I like about Fantastic Four. I really want to like it. But that is a series that you really have to be careful with, because it's Marvel's first family. It's very important. But the longer they take to develop and do it well, now, I think they did it okay with the original 2 Fantastic Four movies. That next one they did, the darker one, no, didn't like it. But I've watched it a few times at least, in bits and pieces, but I've watched it. It's not bad, but it's not good. But what they did with Fantastic Four, you're waiting too long. You run that risk that just the average person is not going to care. But they don't carry a lot of the baggage, even though that baggage still is there, because these were written in the 50s or 60s or whatever. So these are like the first family of comics. And if you screw that up, that still sets a precedent for stuff going forward. So you want to make sure that you do a good job of that. You know, if it takes time, then by all means take the time to get that, to do it right. You know, we want these series to be correct. We want what you're doing to make sense, and we want to make sure that it follows the continuity. You cannot take a character like Luke Skywalker and Last Jedi him. You can't subvert expectations without him redeeming himself. Could he have gone through that character arc and then come in with a laser sword? I'm sorry, it's called a lightsaber, by the way. It's not a laser sword. It's a lightsaber. But anyway, yes, they could have done that. They could have done so much more. And I don't want to get off on that tangent because I will, and I have, and whatever. It's all part of the plan. You have these rules, and you think they'll save you, but they won't. Sorry, I slip into my Heath Ledger once in a while. Joker. Was that over the top? I never know. What's that from? That's Riddler. That's Jim Carrey. He was a perfect Riddler, but Batman and Robin, not so good. But even that trash movie, I enjoyed it, but it's still not great. So anyway, with all that being said, let's see. Should we do our unboxing first, or should we go over the episodes? Let's go over the episodes because some of y'all are tuning out and you're already asleep. So I got my notes here. You're going to hear me flipping pages because, truth be told, I asked Digital Caveman coming on tonight. I was like, "You do the notes," and he's like, "I'm not going to do the notes. You do the notes." And I'm like, "It's only my show. I wish you could do the notes." And he's like, and I was like, "You know, I'm not going to do notes," so I didn't do notes, and this and that. So let's see. So we've had, to me, my X-Men, which was fantastic, and oh my gosh, how great that episode was, especially seeing Cyclops with his boss move where he's just falling out. It's falling out the plane there. The Sentinel's tearing him up, and he's just being so badass. And kudos to everybody creatively at Bo DeMaio and everybody else who have put X-Men 97 together, and people from the animated series. This wouldn't exist without you guys. So all the creative people in X-Men the animated series, you still have my love from the 90s, and you always will. Thank you for the world you created. To me, that is the perfect X-Men, and I have held them in high regard. And yes, Wolverine was, Digital Caveman and I have discussed this before, but to me, Wolverine wasn't as big until after the X-Men movies came out, after the animated series came out, and then of course 2000 we get Hugh Jackman and the movies, and so everything has to have Wolverine in, which is fine. He's a perfect Wolverine, but to me, my favorite character was Cyclops, Scott Summers, because he was like the Superman, the Boy Scout kind of, he did the right thing. Digital Cayman says this, no bad episodes yet, talking about X-Men 97, and I agree. But they've redeemed in X-Men 97, redeemed from that first episode, redeemed in one episode, less than 30 minutes, you redeemed Scott Summers, Cyclops. He's the badass that we always knew he could be. And just not the punk that they had. Nothing against the actors that portrayed him. You're just actors, you're just following, doing your lines and all that. But Mutant Liberation Begins was probably still one of my favorite episodes until this week. And Bo DeMaio wrote that by himself again. I tell you, I don't know. He's done great. And so that was basically the trial of Magneto. Very important. So much is going on. Like they dealt with Master Mold, and I thought we were done with, and reluctantly, I'm glad we aren't done with them. But oh my gosh, I thought, to me, my X-Men, the first episode, when they dealt with Master Mold and defeated all the Sentinels and everything, I was like, oh, well, they just wrapped that up. Boy, they are blowing through things. They're going to run out of different stories to tell here. We get to episode 2, Mutant Liberation Begins, and, we're seeing the Executioner coming there. Basically, he shoots Rogue. Not Rogue. He's trying to kill Magneto and basically depower him permanently. And they're fighting in the UN. And Storm, being the hero that she is, She's a hero we got, not a hero that we deserve. She's awesome. She definitely had her god tier moments or omega level moments in the first couple episodes, but then she jumps in the way to save Magneto from getting shot, and she takes the brunt of it, and then she gets depowered. And then we have episode 3, Bodemeyer with Charlie Feldman. They wrote Fire Made Flesh, and basically we get the whole Goblin Queen story pretty much wrapped up in a nice bow, but it's not done with. And then, then we get to Motendo, Livedeath Part 1. And let me see. Let's see. March 25th, 2024. This is according to Wikipedia for X-Men 97. Revealed that To Me, My X-Men had 4 million views worldwide within its first 5 days of release. That was the second most watched first season premiere for an animated series on the service of Disney Plus, behind the first season of What If in 2021, which I love all the seasons of What If. Keep them coming. According to the streaming aggregator Just Watch, X-Men 97 was the 5th most watched television series across all platforms in the United States during the week of March 18th through the 24th, 2024. Wow. And, close to 100% critical response on Rotten Tomatoes for the series, and after this episode, it's probably 110 easily. No bad episodes yet. I know you said no bad episodes yet, Digital K-Man, but I will challenge you on that to say that the next one we talk about is... let me take that off of there. Hold on. Hi. Okay. The next one that we talk about gets to be episode 4 is actually a two-parter, Motendo. Now, they did nail the whole 90s vibe of video games and all that, and, we're finding out more about... I almost said Fabian Cortez. That is not his name. The character. All right. I'm trying to find it here. Help me. Where are my notes? Peter Guy, Callisto, Leech, no. Bolivar, no. What's his name? Oh, gosh. Sunspot? K-Man, are you there? I don't know if you're there in the chat anymore. I'm not seeing it. Anyway, I can't think of the character's name that Julie's hanging out with. So we get the Motendo wasn't bad. It just wasn't great. That's what Digital K-Man says, and I can't think of who the K-Man, if you're still there. Who was what's the character? His name that gets kidnapped and all that by the Friends of Humanity. I'm looking at my notes here and I cannot find it. I can't find it. I can't think of his name. Anyway, let's see. Oh, here we go. It is Roberto da Costa. Thank you. Sunspot. Thank you. Anyway, so yeah, we get the whole character with Sunspot in there, and when we get to Motendo, and that was a lighthearted episode. And looking back now over the whole season so far, 5 episodes, I would, including the two-parter, episode 4. Motendo was definitely lighthearted, kind of the breather we needed. And as badass as I thought the first one was, and even the second one, which is probably my favorite, when we get to episode 5, it just blew everything out the water. And I loved, for once, being part of a fandom and going to the internet, and video after video is about how great something is. I heard words perfection. I heard new standard, and I'm believing the hype. I'm part of the hype. I'm like, yes. Anybody I can tell they need to watch X-Men, you need to watch X-Men. You need to be all about the X-Men, because this is, even if you're not watching it, you will get a lot out of it. You may not understand it all, but you'll get the social issues. we've got nothing wrong here with social commentary. Nothing wrong with representation. Don't twist it. Don't turn it into something it's not. What I'm saying is, it's just, it has to be right, the story. Especially when you have legacy characters. You can't have pre-existing characters and change them so radically that they don't even resemble. And I'm not talking physical appearance necessarily. I'm talking about the core of what you've written the character as. You can't take someone and just make them something they're completely not. People don't normally do stuff like that. They don't turn around that well in real life. But anyway, so Motendo was fun. They were Mojo Vision. That's always kind of fun episodes. We got a lot of cameos in that one, even more in episode 5. And then we get to Life Death Part 1, where Forge approaches Storm, and it says he's a friend of Charles Xavier, and he's he basically kind of nurses her back to health, because she's really disillusioned, and she comes across an entity that she deals with, a spiritual kind of entity there, and it's just a little rough what she's going through. Storm, and so we're getting Life Death Part 2, April 17th, 2024. This is coming out this week in days, and I think they're going to wrap it up and give her powers back. I hope so, because God knows we could have used Storm, and we didn't have the whole team in Genosha, and people may not understand it, but they had the X-Jet blow up, in the first episode, and then so a couple episodes down the road, they had a new X-Jet, and even when Rogue and Magneto, along with Gambit, went to Genosha, he was joking that he was the only one that gravity's not going to be so. Magneto says that Gambit's the only one of those three that gravity's going to have a problem with, or he's going to have a problem with gravity. And so they had the X-Jet. They might have had those little single jets, but we still had, the X-Men at home. And, so a lot of the X-Men weren't there. It was just those three, and they were doing their best in episode 5. So Life Death Part 1 really touched on some emotional issues, and you really see Storm struggling, Aurora just struggling, not being able to feel the breeze or moisture or anything, and to see this budding relationship that feels very rushed, because basically had Motendo, so like a 15-minute episode, and then Life Death Part 1 was about 15 minutes. So they really packed a lot in there, and so it's just a little rough, but still, it's going to be interesting to see them bring it all together. Now, we get to Life Death Part 2 coming up this week, but remember it, April 10th, I'll always remember that. Around my birthday, I was like, that was another perfect birthday present, having this penultimate episode come out. That could have been a series finale, as impressive as episode 5 was. Remember it. It's just incredible. I'm just blown away and flabbergasted. I just can't believe it was that good of an episode. I'm so super excited. There's nothing I can really say. Digital K-Man, he's here for about an hour. Thank you for joining us in the chat. He said, I'm out, dude. Have a good stream. Thank you, sir. I will. And thank you for everything. And we'll talk soon, as always. And so, yeah. Life Death. Not Life Death. Remember it. So basically, we see the death of Remy LeBeau, which a lot of people said that he has been the third wheel on this season. We haven't seen enough of him. He had his moment to shine, and then once again made an ultimate sacrifice. And I don't think he's dead. I don't think Magneto's dead. I think all this is going to get corrected. I hope so, because I can't imagine going forward without Gambit, because Gambit's very important to the X-Men mythos and a fan favorite, definitely. So we don't want to see that happen. But what a powerful, powerful drama that was. I mean, just all the stuff. And I was going to pull up the episode and everything, and but I'm not going to do that. In the background while we're talking, I'm going to pull up something here if I can. Let's see if I can do this. So y'all talk amongst yourself. I might do a premiere of my movie here. I promised you I might do that. So we'll see if I can pull that up. So this may or may not work. So let's see. Okay, that's coming. Okay, I'm gonna try something here. I'm gonna give the world premiere of a film I had to make, and the script is a little bit different. The storyboard's more in line with what I ended up creating, but it's something I created, and so I'm just gonna put it here on the thing there. Oh, by the way, I just want to show this. Fall of the Mutant storyline is what they're doing for the Storm's story about her losing their powers and all. Digital came in and said that before he left. Anyway, so I'm going to try to show this. Let's bear with me here, and I'm going to try to present here. Let's see. How would I do this? A video file. Let's see if I can do this. So bear with me here on the live stream. We're going to try to pull this up and see if it will let me do this. Okay, give me a second here. Pulling up my... All right, spring 2024, boom, boom, boom. All right, what are we doing here? Video editing, blah, blah, blah. So okay, we're going to do world premiere of the Alpha Protocol. So here we go. Let's see. See if this works. Oops. Add the stage. Here we go. The Alpha Protocol. Forgive me if the sound isn't that loud. This is about a 5-minute film here. The Alpha Protocol. So that was the world premiere of the Alpha Protocol, a film I had to make. Came out of my own little brain. There on the it was for let's see, move that. It was there for class. I had to make it for class, and so I'm kind of proud of it. Some people saw it and said they thought it was good. I'm like, well, yeah, I'm not saying it's good at all, but it's an interesting story. I'm not good at making films. I'm a sound guy, so I did the best I could with what I had, and that's what I had. So I just figured it'd be something crazy and offhanded, and it was. Anyway, but sorry to drop that there in the middle of the stream. Actually, I'm not sorry. I promised I'd give it to you guys. So I'm probably going to release it on the channel as a standalone video, and we'll see how it does. Maybe it'll get some kind of weird cult following. Who knows? So anyway, that's the Alpha Protocol, and a little something I created. Wrote it, storyboarded it, directed it, produced it, picked the music for it, and edited the whole video together. Is it perfect? No, there's a lot of things I'd change about it, but it's best I could do and all that. So possibly one of my first forays into filmmaking. So I'm not saying it's anything great, but who knows? Maybe I've got some interesting perspective there. I don't know. Anyway, so back to X-Men 97. We're talking about the pivotal episode. We've talked about everything Motendo, Livedeath Part 1. We're talking about Livedeath Part 2 is coming this week, this Wednesday. And I'm super excited that will be something positive, hopefully, that it will come of things. So, I'm just looking forward to that and hoping that, just hoping that that's going to be something that people are going to, the new episode is going to be super awesome. So I'm excited for that. I'm looking forward to it. I can't say enough about episode 5, how great it was, the writing, the direction on it, the cinematography for a animated show was phenomenal. When they did some of the slow motion scenes, when all the destruction was going on, that just added more cinematic flavor to it. And, I can't say enough about how I was blown away. I mean, if I ever saw a perfect episode, that was it. And I don't know how they're going to top it. And if they can top it, oh my gosh. Spoiler alert, people are thinking that Jean and in there it looked like they were being attacked, unless it was Cable trying to, send them a psychic message when he came in. And Cable's one of my favorite characters, mainly because of X-Men, the animated series. And so, and love them in the comics, so love the whole character and everything. So he was showing up and he was unable to change things. And he said, not again. So apparently he's been time traveling. He'll figure it out between him and Bishop. They'll figure it out. Because Bishop, took Cable to his future, so, blah, blah, blah. And now it's all coming back, coming circle, I guess, round circle or whatever. But whatever they're trying to do there, it's just very interesting because Cable has... he shows up and he's like, he's coming. Now, who is he? Maybe it's Apocalypse, maybe it's somebody else, I don't know. But the thing about it is everybody's thinking that it's going to be Cassandra Nova, because there was a whole thing that even had that type of Sentinel in it in the comics where she comes and basically destroys Genosha. She's basically, I think she was like stillborn or something, or something. She was Charles Xavier's twin sister, and then somehow she comes to manifest into life or whatever, birth or whatever, or something, and she just wipes people out psychically and all that. So unless they're bringing in Onslaught, which I hadn't thought. Oh my God, what if they're bringing in Onslaught? But I don't see it. I don't think they would do that. If they did that, that would be incredible. I would be so beyond super excited. I already am, but it's just amazing what's going on there with that. What else? Let's do an unboxing, okay? We'll start with Rogue first. No, I want my first unboxing to be Cyclops, and these are the official X-Men 97 figures. Let me turn this light down a little bit. Let's see. I'm gonna steal a little of Digital Caveman's thunder by doing my own unboxing here. Let's see. Does that work? That's plus. I should probably do minus. I don't know if that takes it down a little bit. Hopefully you can still see it. So I'm going to open it up. We're doing an unboxing of the X-Men 97 figure from Epic Heroes series. I don't know how to do this properly. I wish I could mount my camera over. I hadn't figured this out, but I wish I could do that. Then I could get everything out and you could do this the right way. I don't have my knife to open this with. Doggone it. This is what I get for being spontaneous. This is not graceful at all. This is not going to be graceful. Okay, we're getting there. Ouch, bear with me here. So I blow out my speakers there. I hope not. Little ASMR. That's trying to do that. That did not sound good. Okay, that doesn't work well. Oh, please don't tell me I gotta cut these off of here. Okay, well, anyway, I'm not going to take them out apparently. But that's what he looks like, Cyclops. He's in his little box there. And then this is the his Sonic Blast beams there. Which this is a cool little feature. I'm glad they added it. So I don't know how this must wrap around his head or something. I don't know. But that's the optic blast, what it looks like. Kind of cool. Let me see what the picture looks like on the box. Oh yeah, just kind of goes over his head right here. Kind of wrap it around his visor. I'm not taking him out of the box, so. Digital Caveman definitely has but he does this way better than I do. So, I'm trying to put his optic blast on there. Oh, and not drop it on the floor, which is what I'm doing here. I don't think it matters which way you put it on them. It just seems like they're both the same. So. Is that what it looks like? It's bigger than his head. Well, that's what it looks like. So he's doing the optic blast. Just pretend you don't see that part of the ring right. That part there that wraps around his head, but there we go. A little bit. So basically you're seeing the optic blast. So if he was like shooting its concussive force. So that's pretty cool. And that's your X-Men 97 Cyclops. Sorry, that's your X-Men 97 Cyclops. This is our unboxing there. See, seeing that on camera there. Digital Caveman presents. He does it much better. He makes it look much easier. And so that's what it kind of looks like. The optic blast. See how it's kind of looking there. So it's kind of like if it were coming straight at you. You did like an angle, it would kind of look like that. So that's kind of cool comparison there. Cyclops. And he'd say there's all the writing and stuff. So that's cool. Blah, blah, blah. There's all the X-Men there. Not all of them, but a good amalgamation of them. That's awesome. I like that pose. So that's my unboxing. Oops, I gotta take that off. Don't want to lose that. And then so that's our Cyclops, and then we're gonna try to do Rogue here. Actually, we won't. I'll just show you Rogue in the package. There's Rogue in the package. Well, I'll tell you when I get it unboxed later. We'll have Rogue on another episode, and that's kind of what. So apparently she's got a little green something there. I don't know what that's supposed to be. I don't know. Maybe that is. I guess it's power or something. It's like around her arm, supposedly. I don't know. But that's what she looks like. Rogue. She's looking awesome. So excited. Thank you, Digital Caveman, for those presents. They're awesome. I got a lot of other stuff that wasn't going to drag everything on camera here, but I did. I'll put my X-Men up here so you can see them. Probably there by Baby Yoda or something, Grogu. But I'll get all that put together sometime soon, and so you can see it all, and so that was cool. All right, so we premiered a movie I wasn't planning on. We did an unboxing that I was sort of planning on. We talked about episode 5, and we didn't really break it down in great detail, but I mean, I'm so overwhelmed. I don't even feel like I could even talk about it. I know that doesn't make sense at all, but it just feels that way. It's just so incredible what we saw, and it's just amazing. I'm blown away by it all, and so I can't be happier for that. X-Men 97 is perfection. So, what are your thoughts? Please let us know. And I hope you're enjoying this episode. This is a Geek Homeworld episode 172 live stream. Motendo, remember it. And that's a play on Motendo. I'm trying to combine some of the X-Men episodes into my titles here. And then Remembered, of course, the Remembered episode. Please like, share, subscribe, ding that bell, all that stuff. It really makes a difference. We're at 51, I think, followers on the YouTube channel. I'm really trying to grow it, and if you want a birthday wish from me, you'll sub to my channel, and maybe you'll join me in these live streams or on the replay, and hit me up in the comments. I appreciate it. You can subscribe to Geek Homeworld at youtube.com/@Geek Homeworld4248. That's subscribing to Geek Homeworld on YouTube at youtube.com/@Geek Homeworld4248. And when we hit 100 subs, I'll be able to just change that. Just drop the 4248 or it'll just be youtube.com/Geek Homeworld. So that would be fantastic. And that's something I want to shoot forward. September 7th of this year, I think, coming up, will be 10 years of this podcast. And 08 to 018 to 28 that'll be what, 10, that'll be 20 years. Oh, so if we make it to 2028, 2028, if we're still podcasting in about 4 years, it will be 20 years I've been a podcaster. That means we're about 16. We're in 15 or 16 years into podcasting here. I am so far. So just keep chugging on and doing it. This is fun, and I hope one day this becomes a big community of people, geeky people, and there's a lot of things. It's not just superheroes, film, TV, and stuff like that. There's art. There's other things that you can be geeky about and be part of this Geek Homeworld phenomenon that it is. So everybody who's listened, who's been part of the podcast, who shows up to the live streams, who's given me any kind of emotional or moral support or whatever. Thank you for that. And all that. So I'm super excited where things are going and what's going on. And I hope everybody will just keep being here with us on the podcast and helping us out and everything. And just spreading the word. If anybody is discovering us for the first time, please like and subscribe. Enable notifications so you'll know when we go live. I've been trying to do Saturdays at 9:30 p.m. That seems to be a good time to live stream on Saturday night, so that's kind of what I'm shooting for. It's a little bit longer episode. We had a lot packed into it, but I don't want to drag things out. I know everybody's time is important. I'm not gonna drag this out. There's no reason to drag it out, but I'm just having a lot of fun on the stream. And thank you, Digital K-Man. I know you've been under the weather and it was kind of last minute. It was touch and go whether you can make it anyway. And thank you for showing up in the chat. You didn't have to, and I appreciate that. If you're interested in being on one of our live streams, being part of the podcast, hit me up. I'm on Twitter at Geek Homeworld, or Twitter, I should say X. It's in our promo, our intros and outros. You'll know where to hit us up, or hit us up on Geek Homeworld on YouTube. That's youtube.com/at Geek Homeworld 4248, or just search Geek Homeworld on YouTube and you'll find our channel. You'll find the Geek Homeworld. And we normally talk film, TV, and tech. And in June, Digital K-Man's coming down, and we're going to go to, I think it's called Joe Con. That's here in, it's one of the cons. Different kind of con. And so we're looking forward to that in June, to go to that here in Augusta, and so we'll have coverage of that and everything. So that's something fun that we're doing, a new thing. I've kind of wanted to do stuff like that, but just can never get people seem to be committed to things. Something always seems to come up with everybody. It's just how it is. That's life. And anyway, so this has been Geek Homeworld episode 172 live stream, Motendo. Remember it. And R.I.P. Remy LeBeau. Hope they bring you back. Hope cable can turn back time and fix everything, and that's what we're hoping for. So thank y'all, everybody. Thank you for being a part of this, and look for the Alpha Protocol video coming soon to the channel, and let us know your thoughts about it. It's what it was. So thank y'all so much, and thank you, everybody. Oh, somebody just jumped in right towards the end here. So hello, if you're there, say hello in the chat real quick. Somebody just jumped into the live stream here. I was about to bring it to a close, but if there's anything you want to mention, or you want to say hi or anything, that's cool. If you don't want to say anything, don't. You do what you want. But thank you for being here, being a part of the Geek Homeworld. And look for that world premiere. We had the world premiere on the live stream here. It was if you showed up today for the live stream, you got to see the world premiere of the Alpha Protocol. I will be posting it soon on the channel, so you'll look out for it. But if you haven't seen it yet, so it's just a little fun thing. So anyway, so what are your thoughts about X-Men 97? If you're not watching it, you need to be. I'm telling you, even if you're not a comic fan, it's really well written, well done. Kudos to Disney. Yes, I can give Disney their flowers, as people say. I can definitely give them their flowers when it's well deserved, and it is. So everybody behind the scenes that made X-Men 97 happen so far, you've done a tremendous job. Thank you all. You're phenomenal, and you've exceeded expectations, and you've rekindled a lot of hope and faith of what X-Men can be in the Marvel Universe. And so thank y'all so much. And anyway, I'm about to roll the outro here. So thank you, everybody who showed up, and thank you for being a part of the Geek Homeworld. I'm your host, Ed Ciucevich, and thank you, and good night. Thanks for listening to another exciting episode of the Geek Homeworld podcast with your host, Ed, aka the Savage Tech Man. Remember to follow us on X, Instagram, Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks for being a part of the Geek Homeworld.